ladies and gentlemen, today we're doing something that quite literally I've never done. We are officially getting Scuba certified. The people over at Adorama have a sister company called Scuba.com. After quite an intense online 8-hour course, well, we finally made it here to get our first day in the pool, where we're not only going to be gearing up in our scuba suits, but also learning all the skills that we need to really get out there and be safe. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm a little nervous, but let's go check it out. All right, first time in the water. Alright, so we just finished up our 2 swim certifications. One of them was swimming 8 laps back and forth, and the second one was treading water for 10 minutes. So now we can go ahead and get started with the certification. As you guys can see, well, there's gonna be a lot of gear.
Now where I want it to be, so just until it's nice and finger tight.
Alright, our gear is officially set up. Time to get in. That's crazy. Wrapped up 2 of our skills, basically being able to take our mask on and off underwater, as well as practicing our things like buoyancy to make sure that we're able to float properly. Just a lot of skills that we need to learn here in the pool, so that way when we get in the water and if something goes wrong, we have these right skills to make sure that we're ready and safe in the water. Right now we're taking a little bit of a lunch break, got some Lunchables, and then we're back in the water for 2 more lessons. Man, this is a lot harder than I thought. But honestly, taking that first breath underwater is just such a new, completely terrifying, but such a thrilling experience. So let's see what else is in store. Well, we have just finished up our first pool day here. Honestly, it was great to get our feet wet, learn a little bit more about how exactly scuba diving works, because trust me, when I first started, I literally had no idea where to begin, but luckily our instructor was super helpful. We were able to get some really great dives in and learn more about how to not only control our breath underwater, but things like buoyancy, making sure we're able to stay afloat, and then also just preparing for any emergency situations, like if we run out of air, if we need to share air with a partner, or simple things like if you lose your mask while you're swimming, just making sure you're able to deal with that under the pressure. But our next 2 dives are actually going to be over on Catalina Island, which I've never been to, so stick around and we'll see you guys there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially 5:45 a.m. on our second day here on our scuba training. Today we're heading somewhere super exciting to Catalina Island, and it's our first time getting into the actual ocean with all of our scuba gear. And I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit nervous, and especially being in the open water, it's gonna be a little bit terrifying, but luckily we have some really great instructors and trainers to make sure that we're safe when we're getting certified out there. Right now it is about an hour ferry ride over to Catalina Island. Once we're there, it's gonna be time to lock in, because today's about to be crazy, y'all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially made it here to Catalina Island. Right off the bat, as soon as we got off the ferry, I could immediately tell how clear this water is. It's gonna be a pretty exciting day because I can already see some fish right here from the shoreline. Now, this entire experience wouldn't have been possible without the people over at Scuba.com. They really hooked it up for this entire experience. Everything from the online training to getting certified in person here in LA. And obviously, when it comes to something like scuba diving, it requires a fair amount of gear. And luckily, they have blessed your boy with quite the setup. So let's check out what we got. All right, so right off the bat, we got quite the massive care package. Let's see what we got. First up, repping the Tusa, Find Your Ocean. Now your boy's officially a diver. But most importantly, one of the biggest things that we're going to need is something called a dive computer. It may look just like a watch, but there are actually a lot of handy features that you're going to need while you're diving to monitor things like your air pressure, air gauge levels. Like I said, we're still in training, so we're going to figure out how exactly to use it. But having a dive computer is one of the most essential pieces of your gear, and you're going to need a nice pair of goggles. This right here in the super dope green colorway. Check, check, check. Good visibility. Now obviously before starting this experience, I really had no idea what any of these parts were, but now I've gotten a little bit better handling. So this right here is your first and second stage regulator. This is basically what attaches to your oxygen tank to deliver the flow of oxygen to what is called your second stage right here. You basically just breathe out of it, and it's truly a surreal experience being able to breathe underwater. It's literally like anything else I've ever experienced. And then this right here is not only a compass, but it should also be a pressure gauge, as well as telling you how much air you have left in your tank, as well as obviously things like our flippers to make sure that we are gliding through this water. These look sick. Now we are about to get geared up, so we'll walk you through a little bit more once we start that process, but I can't wait to get out on the water.
We're gonna go over and get our wetsuits and our tanks so that we can obviously breathe underwater. Very exciting. Let's get it.
Here's one.
All right, now scuba diving is no joke because obviously you're carrying a lot of gear, but this oxygen tank is crazy.
How did she do that? How did you put it over your shoulder?
Alright, obviously when you're diving, you want to make sure that you're properly weighted. Your buoyancy is one of the most important things you learn when you're first starting out, so you need to have proper weights to make sure that obviously you're not floating up or down. But these basically just go right into your BCD. That way, if you're ever in an emergency, you can easily just pull these out and drop your weights and float up to the surface. Alright, we are officially geared up and about to head into the water. The sun is coming out, so it's going to be a perfect time to see all these gorgeous fish and all this underwater life. So it's time to get diving.
It's time to get diving.
It's time to get diving. Well guys, we have just wrapped up our very first dive here in the ocean. I've got to say that was probably one of the most surreal experiences of my entire life. Just being able to breathe underwater, see all these fishes and all the wildlife. It truly just blows me away that this is just a whole nother world of seeing underwater. How do you feel?
I feel great. A whole new world has opened up. Literally, I am the Little Mermaid.
Now because we are still getting our certification training, today was a lot more about learning our skills, getting more comfortable with the diving. We have one more dive planned in 2 days, and after that we are officially scuba certified, meaning we can go out and dive on our own, which is pretty insane to think about. But we have one more day, so I'll see you guys then. Scuba Certification. After 3 days of training, we are officially certified to scuba dive by ourselves. It's pretty surreal that we've got this accomplished, and now we can basically go wherever we want, rent our own gear, and be certified to scuba. It's honestly been one of the most surreal experiences, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this. And obviously we couldn't do it without our amazing instructors, so huge shout out to Devin, and huge shout out to the whole team over at Scuba.com for making this entire trip possible. Any tips on if people want to get certified?
Take your time, enjoy it, breathe slow, really enjoy the quietness, and just take it one step at a time.
Slow is pro. But once again, if you guys are looking to get scuba certified, it is relatively easy. You have to do an online e-learning course, which took about 8 hours to get done. After that, we have to do 1 pool day as well as 2 of these ocean days. So honestly, we got it done in about a week, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty accomplished. And once again, the fact that we can literally go scuba dive wherever we want is absolutely surreal.
How do you feel? You're officially scuba certified.
I feel relieved. I was scared we weren't going to be able to do it at the start of the day today, but we did it. It's like a whole new world unlocked. A whole new world.
All right, scuba out.